Good morning, everybody. Chris Knight of American Raw Fitness. This video and its messaging is primarily directed towards my athletes, and they're going to be provided a link through the coaching app. And it's more of a reach in order to communicate or better communicate kind of what coaches' expectation of your performance looks like and what that is. I think sometimes it gets lost. We're easily influenced from social media and our peers in the gym into making decisions that aren't necessarily in line with what the goals were set out with coach, with me. So this is kind of an opportunity to kind of cover a lot of bases at once. There are going to be many of you that adhere to my expectations and your own expectations, and you follow the plan beautifully, most of you. And then there are some, this is more of a direct approach to, that may make some choices daily that aren't necessarily putting them in the right path towards whatever goals they shared with me. And they can be a variety. Not everybody in my group is a competitive powerlifter. So yeah, the goals differ, but the way we get there, the work ethic, the decisions that we make in and outside of the gym, those all play a factor in whether or not those goals come to fruition. So we're going to talk about those things. As an athlete, especially as a weight lifter, regardless of whether you're a competitive power lifter or not, there is some part of you that gets very attached to the idea of personal push. There is an effort component of any sort of weightlifting or resistance training or fitness training. When you grab a weight and you move a weight, it's just you and it requires effort. So at the very base level, when we all got started in the gym, regardless of skill level, there was a part of us that enjoyed, at least to a small degree, pushing ourselves and pushing effort into weightlifting. As we become more comfortable with weightlifting, as we find a niche, whether it's bodybuilding, CrossFit, powerlifting, then we start pushing a threshold of what the requirement of effort is going to be competitive, to push yourself, or to get PRs. And I think, as simple as it sounds, that one concept gets lost. So then we find, as we get more competitive or we get more involved, we find the shoes or the sleeves or the singlet or the straps, you name it, the slingshot, the right bench, the right bar, the right plates, the right environment, the right music, in order to complete something that we all know from day one just requires effort. My belief, and I know I'm sounding like an old man, is that if you really enjoy deadlifting, you're gonna deadlift with a tree branch. You're gonna deadlift with a car axle. You're gonna deadlift with whatever bar is available because you love deadlifting. You're just gonna find weights, you're gonna strap those weights on, you're gonna do the best of your ability to adhere to your form, your cueing, what you and your coach have been working on, and you're gonna deadlift. And you're gonna enjoy it because that's a movement you really love and enjoy. Instead, I think some of us fall into, I need, whether it's material things or whether it's a specific thing in your program or a specific diet approach, when I understand what you're saying, but I think we're missing the fact that it requires effort, and maybe more effort in those areas than you realized you are putting forth. One of the key components of the talk today is going to be the totality of a workout and kind of what that looks like and the importance of each, so that way you guys can start making some good decisions going forward. And a lot of it's going to boil down to effort, because I do think some laziness or some want of convenient gains is a big part of it. But the totality of my workouts that I design for you, that I take time out of the day, I talk to you, we cue it up, is warm-ups, which if you don't have specific, that's because you're already probably doing a good job, so keep it up. Some of you guys have specific movements in mind based on injuries, what you're rehabbing, what you're working on. But warm-ups in its entirety should be and is a component of your daily training. A warm-up should consist of movements, and I wrote this stuff down because I'm getting old and I forget. But what I want the goals of your warm-up to be is to raise your heart rate. I want to lubricate your joints. You're gonna prep your muscles for contraction and load, basically getting them ready for the day. You're gonna build mental focus for the day. So that's kind of when you dial in. So in those 10, 15, 20 minutes of warm up, that's when the social part of the gym, the events of the day, the tasks at hand, and the to-do list that you have in your brain, we can start putting those aside and instead refocusing and tasking our brain with the work of the day. Work as in the sense of pushing yourself, in the sense of effort, in the sense of focus. So we're gonna build the mental focus for the day, and we're gonna start to sweat. I know it baffles me, but I do hear some people say, or I see them in the gym already on a barbell. They're not even sweating. Their body's not even warm. And trust me, on the inside, I may not display it to you. I'm cringing. But yeah, we begin to sweat, get that going. And then for a lot of you, that's where we focus a lot of our rehab and prehab work. So if you have troublesome spots, muscles, joints, things that we're working on, that's when we're gonna start attacking those things, is in those warm-ups. So that's a big that's a big component of being an elite athlete, is just that list I went through. So that's the warm-ups, and many of you just don't do that. So you skip that altogether. So that's warm-ups, and that's my expectation. Raise your heart rate, lubricate your joints, prep your muscles for contraction and load, build mental focus, begin to sweat, and prehab and rehab your troublesome spots. That's before we even begin the workout. That's an expectation from coach. And that should be an expectation from you, given the goals that you guys share with me. Okay, so that's the warm-up. Now let's talk about, I guess, the one piece that nobody misses, which is the barbell work. So barbell work is very different for each of you. You're gonna have main work. You may have we may have variations of the barbell work, depending on what you're working on. It could be pauses, tempos, pins, bands, chains, you name it, but there's variety that some of you guys have. But let's just say your barbell work for the day, let's give it a squat day, is you got 3 working sets, and then you have a variation. Maybe it's a pause squat. So you're looking at, for the day, anywhere from, some of you, 5 sets in total up to 8 sets in total. Those reps could be anywhere from 1s all the way to maybe 5s or 6s or 8s. So if your main work is, let's just say, 5 sets of 5, and some of those are variations, that's your cue work, that's your timing. We're talking about knees, hips, lower back, shoulders. That's displaying the totality of your training. So warm up, barbell work, accessories. So we're seeing all of it come together. And then we're building work capacity with the caveat. We're building work capacity only if and when the volume is high enough to spike and push your work capacity. So if you're doing 3 singles and you're doing a variation of 3 sets of 2, and you took anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes socializing and being on your phone in between sets, you did not build work capacity at all. If you did 3 sets of 8 to 10 with moderate to heavy weight, you regulated your rest periods to 90 seconds, yes, you pushed your work capacity. And the thing is, you guys are adults. I don't need to tell you when you're pushing your work capacity and building it and when you're not, because you can see it, because you're dying, because you're on the floor, you're covered in sweat, and you can't breathe. That's when you're building work capacity. If you're not doing those things and you're casually talking to your friends as you belt flip and walk across the gym, you didn't build anything. But that's what the barbell work is for. We also build CNS capacity, or regulate heavy stimulus. And all of you guys have been there where you get under a barbell, and maybe you haven't been under a barbell in a long time. You unrack moderate weight and it feels heavy. And that is your CNS talking to you. So that's where we communicate back, and we build that stimulus to understand that we are going to be pushing through these weights, and we're going to end up pushing further. So we build that stimulus as we go. So what feels heavy doesn't feel heavy anymore. So we build through it. That's the focus of barbell work. Cueing, timing, displaying the totality of training, bringing it all together. We're also building work capacity with that caveat of you pushing through sets or volume. And then it also builds our capacity with CNS and that heaviness stimulus. That's the barbell work. Now, unfortunately, some of you, that's all you do. So you queued up, you worked on timing, you maybe worked work capacity. That's a big maybe for a lot of you. And that's it. And then you felt something heavy. Okay, that's the barbell work. So the third component of your training, accessories. And you guys all know I jump on it all the time on social media, try harder, all these t-shirts, this idea that we got to push accessories. And I feel like I say it, and I think most of you get it, but some of you still don't quite understand. But this is kind of that third part of the daily training that's all written out for you. That not many. Some of us are choosing to either ignore, half-ass, or just not do. Or we substitute based on discomfort, or we make excuses for ourselves, or we do the minimal effort, or we do them because we know coach is going to be on our ass, but we do it with minimal weights. We're not really pushing. But let's just go through what accessories do for you as an athlete, and then maybe you can decide, maybe that's the difference between you and all those elite athletes that you're watching on YouTube. So here's what accessories do for you. They actually build muscle. They build strength. They build mobility, your tensioning skills. It builds your weaknesses in each movement. It builds your grips, your rooting, your hip control. It builds work capacity in general. No caveats. It builds work capacity in general if you're pushing your accessories. It builds your athleticism. It builds injury prevention. It regulates your body weight. It builds the mental capacity to dig. Some people think that the only way they know how to push through a mental threshold of training is only on a heavy squat. Absolutely not. Then you haven't pushed leg extensions, leg press, belt squat, dips, push-ups. We haven't pushed you hard enough yet. And if that's the case, then we've really been missing the mark. But that's where we have a great opportunity to isolate muscles, find a safe environment with equipment or dumbbells, and really push. So the list is 3 times as long as far as potential gains for you coming out of the accessories. Now, what I want to stress to you guys, I don't want to talk to you guys like your kids, but what I want to stress is if we're going to come in with the mental capacity of skipping warm-ups or half-assing it, doing barbell work, and even that for some is half-assed or skipped or excused or minimized, and then we don't really focus on accessories, then why are we doing a complete program? Because every aspect of this is written for you. It was designed with you in mind, with you in conversation, with video reviews intact. Then what are we doing? What are we doing to separate yourself from the old you, from the you yesterday? What are we doing to improve? Because if we're barely making it through the barbell work, which we know doesn't really overall significantly gain you in any way, then is it really important to you? And I know I posted it in a story a while ago, and I think people just kind of looked at it and kind of moved on. But maybe we do need to soul search a little bit on what your goals are. I think we do forget to be an athlete first, or what it was like to be an athlete. And I think I'm trying to be a nice, gentle, but firm reminder of what you signed up for. If setting a PR is important to you, and pushing your body and losing body weight, gaining body weight, building muscle mass, there is nothing convenient about it. I know some of you guys, and there's been talk of, we got the best team in Arizona, and we're building this massive team. And I agree, we have the potential, the absolute potential to build monsters in our gym. But unfortunately, a lot of those monsters are choosing convenience. They're choosing excuses. They're choosing to forget what it's like to be an athlete. We have some that are more inclined to spend money on new shoes for their deadlift than they are to actually build all the accessory work around their deadlift. So I want to remind you guys of what my expectations are as a coach. And I expect nothing less, regardless of whether or not you're a competitive powerlifter. I want dogs. Dogs. I want hungry athletes. I want to see effort in every aspect of their training. From warm-up to the final calf raise, they give it everything they have. It's not just a saying. It's not just a t-shirt. It's not a cool billboard in the back of the firelights on your last squat. It's your daily habits. It's you pushing yourself through a workout that your coach is writing for you. It's all written down to the best of your ability, to where you're crawling out of the gym. That is my expectation, because you guys came into a strength gym, a very focused gym. And we used to have a record board before sensitivities got in the way of that too. And on that record board, people would look up and see these numbers that some thought were astronomical. Like, there's no way Somebody in here is deadlifting 900 and we're squatting 800 and all these benchers over 500. Absolutely. Well, go get it. And don't go get it by watching YouTube and doing minimal effort. Go be a dog. Do the training to the best of your ability. Quit making excuses. Now, you guys are grown, and I'm not your dad, but know the difference between an owie and an injury. Know the difference between an inconvenience and an opportunity. Because I'm telling you right now, if you guys look up to these athletes that you watch on YouTube, and I know you do because I hear the talks in the gym, everybody follows some of the best in the world, and I get it. You don't think they have jobs? Or they're missing sleep on occasion? Or they're not feeling great? Or their back's a little tight because they had inconveniences in their life just like we do? Absolutely, they do. You're a little bit crazy if you don't think so. And at the same time, those elite athletes you're following, those people you're admiring and you're chasing, and you want to build this monster team, monsters do monsters work. They don't skip reps. They don't ask for discounts. They don't make excuses. They're dogs. So if it comes down to what my expectation of my athletes are, is when I sign up and we queue up and we build a game plan, I'm walking away thinking, that person's going to give it everything they have. And we might as well cross those goals off because my expectation is they're going to give it 110%. They're going to go for it. They're going to kill it. So when you're not, I start to wonder where your head's at, which prompts videos like this. So I'm not trying to shame anybody. And if it comes down to that story that I posted of maybe your goals are different than what you thought, that's okay too. If the gym is just a safe place for you to go with your buddies and it's just a nice getaway, it's a mental check off from work and family and all the stress that we're going through, I get it, man. Go have fun. But let's reflect it in the program. Because if you can save me an hour of cutting out warm-ups and accessories that we both know you're not going to do, then yeah, I'll just drop 2 movements for you and knock those out because that's what you're doing. So if you want to be the best, and you want to start writing checks with your mouths on how good you want to be, the weight you want to lose, and the weight you want to move, then your body has to start producing. Effort has to come up because there are some of you that are way overachieving my expectations. You're surprising me. You're absolutely killing it. This video isn't necessarily for you. This is a reminder of the importance of every aspect of training. This is a reminder of why we started, because we were athletes first, and then how some of us have lost that edge, that toughness, and we've gotten a little soft. And if we have, and if you recognize it, then let's change it. Let's take this next workout and go be a dog. Go knock it out. Give it 100%. Destroy yourself on one movement in that day. Maybe make it leg extensions. When it says 3 sets of 10, I want you to almost die on rep 10. Just try it. Give it a shot. See if that will spill over into your next set. See if it'll spill over into your next movement. Maybe it goes leg extensions, your leg curls, and then eventually it works its way over to where your sense of RPE adjusts because it's not a soft RPE anymore. It's the RPE of a dog. It's an RPE of somebody who's hungry. It's an RPE of somebody who wants to push better and more and faster with more athleticism, a healthier body, great choices the next day. Try it and see if it doesn't spill over into your daily habits outside of the gym. See if you're not just a little bit more hungry about advantages that you have around you that you're not taking advantage of. See if it helps you prioritize your time with your kids, prioritize your time with your loved ones and your friends and family. Maybe to help you be assertive in the gym as far as, hey, I need you to back off and give me 10 minutes because what I'm doing right now is important to me. It's so important that us socializing right now or spilling the tea has no weight compared to the PR that I'm going to hit in 3 weeks. I'm hoping this helps. I hope you guys that are killing it, keep killing it. I hope that you guys that know you have opportunity to grow, take that opportunity to grow. So if you want to know what my expectations are, it's more, it's faster, it's stronger, it's more precise, it's with absolute precision in the movements, and it's with nothing less than 100% effort from you every time, with every set, with every rep, on every movement that's written down. I want you guys to go get it. I want to be the best gym, but we have to earn that. Nothing's given. I'll talk to you guys in the gym.